guys? My name is Savvy, and welcome to my newbies guide to New York City. So I'm here with my family. My sister-in-law from California is visiting. She's never been to New York before, so I thought I'd show her around and also make this little video for you guys in case you're curious how the whole New York City thing works, or you've never been here and you wanted to come check it out. First and foremost, I just wanted to say that I'm not like a New York City expert or anything, but I've been here a bunch of times and I sort of know my way around. Once you've sort of figured the system out, it's not too difficult. Getting to New York City is actually quite easy, and there's several ways to enter. It really depends on where you want to park. If you want to park in the city, most likely you'll come across the Holland Tunnel. Huh? Oh yeah, YouTuber. And people here are very friendly, as you can see. A lot of foreigners, a lot of tourists, especially down here in Times Square. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, depending on where you want to park, that's what decides how you get into the city. The most direct way is through the Holland Tunnel. But if you do what we did, which is park outside of the city, outside of Manhattan, you're going to be coming across one of the bridges. So the first challenge that you're faced with is finding parking spaces, because in New York City it's ridiculous, especially in the city itself. So we actually came up to Brooklyn, where one of Casey's sorority sisters live, and we found a parking spot right here on the street. Where'd Casey go? I'm like, where'd they go? Yeah.
There's plenty of things that you would love filming here.
Yeah?
He's ready.
Diana, how are you?
He's like,
Thanks for the tip on the parking.
oh, you're welcome.
So as I was saying, there are actually several options for parking. This is the cheapest one, but you have to drive a little bit further out and you have to navigate your way in. But this is kind of top secret, so I can't tell you exactly where we're at. But if you park outside of the Manhattan area, like Bronx or Queens, those are good parking situations. You can also park in the city, which I usually do, but you have to get here really early to find street parking. Otherwise, you might as well park in a parking garage, and with an SUV, that's gonna cost you like between 60 and 70 bucks. Oh, by the way, a side tip, in the city on the weekends, the street parking is actually free in certain spots, but you got to get this app called Smooth app, which will tell you which streets you can park on, because it changes all the time. Finally, the other option we were going to take before we found out about this option was parking in Jersey City, or actually outside of New York, and then taking a train in. That's pretty decent, especially if you're solo. That way you don't have to pay the $15 bridge fee, and you're only paying what, like $3 or whatever it is to hop on a subway. So if you're by yourself, that's a really good option. By the way, sorry for the weird exposure thing. One of my settings on the camera was off, but looks like we're good now. Now I guess the next part of my guide is navigating the subway, and it's pretty straightforward as long as you know where you're going. You need one of these subway cards. Actually, you need a Metro card for everybody. Oh, you have two? Are they still valid?
Yeah, we threw away the one that wasn't.
It's $3 to get into New York back, so you probably want to put at least $10. $10. Go ahead, start. English or Espanol?
English. They're too proper with their Spanish.
Metro card. Actually, $9 fast Metro card, $1 fee apply, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
Cash credit. pick your poison.
Okay.
Dip your credit card.
Okay. Right here.
Okay, so you give one to. Yeah, everybody needs one.
Okay.
You need a receipt.
Yeah, for Charlie.
And you can scan your Metro card to see what's.
I want to do it.
You can do it. $7. Oh, you got $7. Alright, once you're in the subway system, it's pretty straightforward. There's signs everywhere. But depending on where you enter at, obviously you might have to jump trains. But there you go, we're headed towards downtown Manhattan because our first stop will be Central Park, or in that area, as close as we can get. You thought I was going to leave without my camera? No, that was okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because this is 125th. Yeah. Alright, so we are switching trains because this is the final stop on that one. And we have to switch trains to another one to get to where we want to go. And it changes, so this may not be what you guys experience when you're in New York City. So you just have to pay attention to the signs and just follow everybody else, because usually the crowd is going where you probably want to go too. What do you think? Is this like LA subways? No?
Less scary.
Really? Alright. This one's gonna be packed.
This is 59th Street.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you exit, please be careful of the gap between the platform and the train.
Mind the gap. Before you exit the subway system, just double check, make sure you know where you're at, because to get back on, you have to swipe again and that'll cost you a ride. But if you get off at the wrong stop, you can just hop on the next train that comes by. But since we are going to Central Park, I know that we wanted to stop in the 60th Street area.
Dad, if we go to London, can we go to King's Cross Station?
Sure.
It's a train station.
Wait.
Not a subway. What the heck?
I thought this said exit.
Okay.
No, look.
It doesn't matter which steps we go up. One.
Yeah, go ahead. Good workout?
Yeah.
Alright, we're exiting at Lexington and 60th Street. I'm pretty familiar with the Lexington Street area.
I know where we are now.
Sun, fresh air. Let me get my bearings here. This is Lexington. That's Lexington right behind us. So Lexington travels downtown. So we're gonna go that way towards Central Park. All right. So now that we're up in the New York streets, a little bit about the streets themselves. They're in a grid pattern, and the even streets run east to west. Odd streets run west to east, and then you got, you know, your Lexington, Madison, and all the other named streets running north to south. Downtown is the southern part of New York, or Manhattan, and then uptown is the northern part towards Central Park. So when you're in the subway, look for uptown, downtown to kind of get your bearings. All right, this is Park Avenue. The famous Park Avenue, I should say. There it is. By the way, beware random New York City puddles. I don't know where it comes from, but even when it's not raining, there'll be these puddles in the streets. So I don't know where it's coming from, but definitely don't step in them. Guys, let's play Spot the Tourist.
So I live here.
That was a pedicab.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a tuk-tuk. No, let's go here.
Papayas hot dogs? Is that for real here?
Yeah, that's a thing here.
Have you
Papaya,
had
but
that?
I've never had one.
What is it? Where is it? I don't know.
Just don't get any of the hot dogs in the carts here. They're
No?
not very good. No.
Until you're just
I've done it before. No, there's a couple that are decent, but
Yeah.
the ones that I've ever had on the streets aren't really that good.
No. I don't know.
Whoa, look at these chairs. Guys, look at these chairs. Hey.
That's the thumbnail.
We give you the tour. It's better than walking around.
By the way, try to ignore the guys that give you tours. It really isn't worth it. You're better off walking on your own. Wanna go down this way? This takes you towards the zoo. I know, but we can just walk this way. And then we'll go down, you know where the rocks? We'll go towards that big rock.
Ooh, I like climbing
Let
the
them climb the
rock.
rocks. In Central Park, or the 60th Street corner of Central Park, is the entrance that takes you right to the zoo. We're not going to the zoo today, but you can tell by all these benches. But that leads you right up to the zoo. We're just gonna walk and cut across and go over to the actual Central Park area towards those rocks. This is the Central Park bike path and running. People run on it as well. And horses. But that kind of goes around Central Park. You could literally spend hours exploring Central Park, but we're only here for about 8 hours. So.
That building.
Oh, look at this here. This is my favorite part of Central Park. Look at that view. The rocks are very smooth, so just be careful, because you could take a tumble and hurt yourself. First selfie. Alright, we're done with Central Park, and now we're going to make our way towards Rockefeller Center, which also happens to be real close to my favorite street food cart, Halal Guys at 53rd and
Dad,
6th.
you're gonna step in that puddle.
Oh, yeah, see? Random New York City puddles. Those cost like $20 per person to ride those. Beautiful horse though. I'm just curious where they keep the horses at. Do they bring him in from somewhere? Or do they keep him in the city somewhere? I don't know. I should really find out. Pigeons are like, hey, we want some of that.
Yeah. I know, you can't get them out of the way.
Look at these pigeons. Linda, I got an interesting tidbit of knowledge about the pigeons in New York City. They're actually brought here as food. Seriously. The pigeons were brought here originally as food by the...
Yeah, Dad, you tell us this
I
every
was
time we
telling
come
Linda.
here.
That's real fact. Yeah, basically. But that's why they're here. They're not native. Were brought here as food by, I forget which group. In a lot of areas, they still eat pigeons.
Pigeons?
Yeah, yeah. They cook and eat.
rice?
Yeah, I think they stuff them with rice. They do.
You stuff
That's just
pigeons
easy, 'cause that
with
comes with
rice?
Well, I mean, they cook them with rice. They don't stuff the pigeons alive. They like stuff turkey, but it's a pigeon. This is true. This is all true. Google it. This is 6th Avenue. It's my favorite avenue because it leads you to 53rd and 6th. Halal Guys. Hashtag bathroom break, 53rd and 6th, Hilton. One of the only bathrooms you can access in New York City without buying something. I'll wait for you guys out here. Can't come to New York City without visiting Halal Guys. This is number one. We gotta get our sauces. White sauce.
I like extra white.
Extra white sauce. Squeeze that sucker.
That's what I'm doing.
Squeeze that sucker. She got chicken. I got the beef. And then the hot sauce. That is deadly. You guys gonna taste it? You try it? Oh. We're eating the rain. Oh, it's raining. It's raining. I'm choking. Casey hates being out in the rain in New York City.
I like the rain, just not when I have food.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but eating stuff. We'll just stand here and eat. When you're in New York City, you do what New Yorkers do. That you eat on the street. No problem. By the way, $7. That's the best meal you're gonna get for under $10. They're afraid of the rain, so they went inside Starbucks, but I'm okay. They got kicked out.
We didn't get kicked out, they just said that
No outside food. Well, you have inside food. You
We
bought
were fine
drinks.
till we ordered our stuff, then after we got our stuff, and then we got our stuff. That's fine.
Now, Savvy, I have a question. You
Yeah.
went over to the other corner. Is that corner better than this corner?
No, I think they're the same, but you have to get the corner. These guys are on the corner. All right. I got my 53rd and 6th. I'm good to go now. And the nice thing about 53rd and 6th is we're kind of right in the middle of, or right nearby the Rockefeller area, and right down the street is Radio City Hall. And right down the street from Radio City Music Hall, Godiva Chocolate and NBC Studios. We'll see how much money we have left when we come back through here. And if you walk down the street a little further, that's Rockefeller Center. By the way, it's raining. It wasn't supposed to rain today. I don't know where this rain came from. So down there, that's where the ice skating rink would be in the winter.
I want to see.
Where are we going? That's one of the gods. If you know who that guy is, leave it in the comments. That's St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is right catty corner or right diagonal from Rockefeller Center.
Newsflash, water is wet.
Blue screen of death. Windows died and went to heaven.
Hogwarts, Dad.
What's that?
We're in Hogwarts.
And this is Lexington Avenue. On Sundays they close this street down and have like a street market. One of these hotels is a really nice hotel, 48 and Lexington. It's called the 48 Lex, but that's over on that side. We're going further down and hang around here, but if you make it here on a Sunday, you know, it's a cool area to hang out and do a little shopping for trinkets and street food. Tour buses that you can sit on top. Totally unnecessary. Just follow this guide. Alright. Right here. So this part of my guide is optional because it's kind of out of the way, but they make really good ramen here at NISHIDA SHO-TEN. The tantan is really good, but it's a little spicy. I would either get the chicken.
Okay.
Laura, you probably would like the chicken ramen.
Okay.
That's more like what we're used to. But I normally get the tantan ramen. But looks like they have tankatsu here. Alright, I got the sukemen, not tankatsu. Actually, this is tankatsu sukemen, which is probably a pork-based broth that you dip your noodle into. That's what sukemen is, a dipping noodle. But I believe... Okay, this is some sort of fish powder and chili oil. Yeah, they might. Ask them. Alright.
Little ones that are sriracha. Oh, here, take one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Oh, look, it's very small.
Not bad.
What's next, Munch?
Times Square.
Yay!
This is good, but I don't think it's authentic sukemen. It's more like tankatsu in the style of sukemen. And I got the large portion. I would have been okay with the smaller one. Alright, we're done with lunch. We're gonna head towards Times Square, which is probably, I think it's about 3 or 4 blocks from here, but this is a New York block, so they're huge blocks.
Hey guys, take a photo.
Oh, thanks.
Another New York City pro tip. The photos with the characters are not free. You take a photo and they will hound you for a tip. New subscriber? Oh yeah, yeah, nice, nice. Yes, thumbs up. We're at the prime selfie spot in Times Square right now, which is at, what is this street? 44th?
45th and Broadway.
No, this is 7th Avenue. 44th, West 44th and 7th Avenue. There's this sculpture or bench or something that you can stand on and get a real nice shot of Times Square and 7th Avenue. It's wild here. But look, that's a, look at that. So from here, you can really go pretty much anywhere. There's a subway station, I think on 42nd, that you can take all the way back uptown or downtown towards the financial district, which is where Wall Street is, and the ferries that take you to the Statue of Liberty, the Twin Tower Memorial. Oh, they're going to more Starbucks. There's always a singing guy on the subway. Well, we were initially planning to go to the Twin Tower Memorial and Statue of Liberty, but we're kind of cutting our little New York adventure short. Which leads me to my next pro tip. Make sure that when you're visiting New York City that you get really good night's sleep and that you're feeling 110% because there's a lot of walking, it's crowded, and it's really hot. And to top it all off, finding bathrooms and all that good stuff is a pain in the butt. So if you're not feeling well, you're gonna have a bad time here. So right now we are headed to the 63rd Street and 3rd Avenue station.
It's over there.
Where?
On the left.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's over there. Yeah, apparently this is free, so curious to see if it actually works. Oh yes, go 1 extra. Okay, it worked. 4, 5, 6. We want to go on the 6, right?
Walk to 60th Street and 3rd.
I don't think we were reading it right. Apparently we were going in the wrong direction. Did we come down this? Or we came down this? Yeah, apparently where we came from was the right station. So confused. So now we're walking back to the 60th Street station.
How'd you guys do? Oh, okay. Hey, girlie. It is raining. Oh, you're so lucky to have.
We're good. We're gonna switch once I get on the highway. So no big deal. All right, that is a wrap. If you enjoyed it or if it helped you, hit the thumbs up. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. We'd totally love to have you on board. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
We interrupt this record to bring you a special bulletin.